Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, my G? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm Shlomo. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. Jacob.
Pleasure, brother.
What?
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. Historic Fort Gaines. Right, learning the aggadata Rabbi Barchana right by this giant anchor. We're in a star fort, right? Unbelievably beautiful. We're gonna get kicked out in the middle of shear, so we're gonna end shear outside the star fort. Look how beautiful and intricate and unbelievable these buildings are. And then we're gonna see something, and it says established 1800s. Say, we don't know. Oh, here's a nice desk for some sheer quartermaster building. So it says established in 18 bucks. The other one's built. Now you're gonna see that it's not even feasible that the same civilization who built this built the other thing. The other thing is garbage. This is unbelievable. Look at the intricacies of like how it was built and all of the angles and the star formation. It's really beautiful. So without further ado, I'm gonna give like another minute of ado and ask you guys how you're doing and how you find a good place to sit down and pull out the look at gain in 4 games. Maybe never. Do not shore and islands. Okay, I can't see everything because we got Gemara. So I just want to find a good place to stay. There's a base measures in there. I know. I saw. Do you want to go to the base measures? Okay. Well, anyways, I gotta get the Gemara out of my thing. I apologize but it's just so. I got a question. How everyone's doing? Cool.
Very grateful. And he's got technical difficulties.
Stupid day. Oh, recording in progress. Givaldi.
And we're back.
Okay. And we're back at it says keep out for your sig, but Lamaisa, that seems like a pretty good place to give shear right over there. And I thought was not to go there. That's kind of where I want to check out. So I'm gonna just actually I don't it's just for your safety. I don't want to die. But also it's a mitzvah to do an avera of the Shiba. It says keep out for your safety, but the Tyra
He's walking around. He's that.
okay. Here in this star fort. That's how you know. You'll do the opposite of the Shiba if you don't know what to do. Okay. YG at Shiva's Gula Show, Wartime ZOOMSHTEIG number 99 for Wayne Gretzky today. We are on Daf Ayin Gimel Amid Aleph, and we've been steiging this aggadata of the Gra, and we're basically done with that Nikuda of the Gra. We did the aggadata. Should we do the aggadata one more time because Chazar is so important? Or should I find a place that I could sit, like closer to the Rebbetzin, because she doesn't want to come on this place that you're not allowed to go to? Right? Is my guitar in here? Yeah. Okay. So, while I'm going back, because I do wanna see the Gemara again. Keep on chazering this very difficult Gemara, but we'll go through it fast this time. I don't even know where the Rebbetzin went. The Gemara says like this. Amar Rabba is stoli nechusi yama. So the nechusi yama, the seafarers were talking to me. Now I wanted to talk about the etymology of the word istoli because I was at it yesterday, and I have a possible theory. Istoli, if I had to guess, Svara, I would say istoli. It comes from the word shah, but not our, but to turn. Where do we see the word shah? Right? Show me means he spoke to me. He engaged with me, I think. And so if that's the case, he's speaking to him, Hashem shah to the korban of Hevel, but Hashem but to the korban of Cain. Oh, Chan. Okay, let's go to the base managers. Let's go to the base managers. There's like a place with a table we saw. I think it's that way. Wait, is there a table in there? Oh, so you can get it from it in here. You can get through it in here. Saw this building. Okay, we're back here. El Korban Hevel, but he didn't Shah to Korban Kayin, right? And so it means that Hashem did not turn to Korban Kayin, it turns to Korban Hevel. So maybe it's totally the Shoresh is Shah, and it's like, yeah, he's like facing me, he's talking to me, he's engaging with me. So this seafarer was engaging with Rabbah, and the Gra in his version says Rabbah Barchana. And we know that it's the aggadata of Rabbah Barchana. And Jacob Schwartz, very interesting, that we're learning these nautical tales about Rabbah Barchana, because out of all the Amoraim, there's no one whose name sounds more like a pirate name than Rabbah Barchana.
This is true.
Whoa. Canon? So listen, Rabbah Barchana. Ribbon, can I have some light, please? A little bit, a stickle.
Right in the sun.
I'm not right in the sun. Well, whatever. If you don't want to give me light, you don't have to. Okay, fine. I can see. Between each wave, there was 300 parsi, and it was 300 parsi as high. One time I was going on the path. And so Jacob Schwartz is like, wait a second, on the path, aren't they on a boat? So we would say like this. Shalom Aleichem, Ziggy Arizalin, by the way, and Tati, and Shligs, and the whole yeshiva. So the Hagos gets Yud, and they say, no, they were going not on the path. It means to say they were going in the spina, they're going in the boat. Comes the Gra and says, no, specifically it says they're going in the path. It's a reference to going the path of tshuva, because orach, when it says orach, it doesn't mean path like on land. It means in the path of tshuva, and that's what the reference is. Because derech is rishayim and orach is tzaddikim. That's the gain. That's the gain. And we're in Fort Gaines, right? There were two forts that we could go that we possibly go to in Alabama, and only one of them was going to be possible. And there was Fort Gaines and Fort Morgan. And Fort Morgan might have been a little bit cooler looking at the picture from up above. But I said, how are we going to not do the gain in Fort Gaines? So one time they were going on their path. They're going in the path of Tshuva, right? The wave lifted them up till they saw this house, square, Marvisa. There's 3 perushim in the Rashbam about what exactly is even this Bei Marbisa. Maybe it's his house, maybe it's his light of this small star. The Gra says someone who's on his path, someone who's like, because he said in the first shtickle that the Yam is Olam Hazeh. So when someone who goes down to the Yam is someone who's really getting like deep and stuck in Olam Hazeh, right? And so, oh, I need to take, by the way, please. And so, someone who's on their path, just getting religious, he sees the Yid, even if it's the smallest star, still so much light. But the Gra says that if the sea is Olam Hazeh, then the waves are the difficulties that a Yid goes through every day, right? And what the heck? And there are waves, right? And so, sometimes when a person is his path in tshuva, when he just starts, he's like, oh, I'm so stark now. I'm so free. You know that song? I'm so free. Right? He's like that. He's like, I speak Lashon Hara every day. Let's tell us. Well, you're not going to believe what's outside. That remember that boom that we heard? Wow.
What was that? Was it sound barrier breaking?
Cannon, and you can see all the cannon smoke. They just literally shot a cannon. Go check it out. But the Gemara says if you're learning Torah and you go inspect the cannon, it's whatever. You go look at a tree, say, oh, how nice of a tree. because looking and appreciating the tree wasn't part of your limud. That's why that was the problem. Okay. So, anyways, the wave, the test, right? He's getting from, and then all of a sudden the wave picks him up. That's arrogance. And he's getting so close. And says the Gemara, if I got even closer, and it says it's shine. The shine was like arrows of mustard seeds. And the reason this compared to mustard is because mustard seeds are way too bitter. But when you bash them down, so then they become delicious. So too, like it could be like Am Yisrael or a Yid or a human with his Yetzer Hara, with his unrefined midos. It could be like very bitter, but when the Torah is matesh as kol chol shel adam, and it smashes him down into something beautiful, right? All this was said by the gain, mustard seed. But if it brought us closer, we would have been maklinon behevle. Now, maklinon behevle, there's nothing in our Gemara that talks about it. So we weren't sure what it was talking about. Maklinon behevle, we were talking about maybe there's no air, outer space. We're thinking, I mean, even obviously chas v'shalom, but we were thinking like maybe like that's like shayach. And Hevle is not no oxygen, so that's one shot that I wanted to give before we saw the Gra. In the Gra brings a Rashbam that we don't have printed in the Gemara. Unbelievable find. And he says that we would have been maklinon behevle, we would have been hit by the Hevel, is burned from the heat of the star. Right? Nisrab b'michom hakolchav, says the Gra. What does that mean? It says, what's the apex? You get arrogant, you go up. He thinks he's starting to get from, he's getting arrogant. I'm so stark, I'm so free, right? And it goes arrogance. And if you get too close to that star, what is it? That's eskas. That's the fire of anger that we should all, in the schus of Amocheres Asfira, and learning these one-of-a-kind Gemaras. We should have the schus to overcome any anger, chas v'shalom, that Yid should ever have, bad emotions that come maybe from this arrogance. And so that's what the Gra is talking about.
Amen.
Like that it lifted so high, we almost got burned by the anger, by the fire of anger. Do we have a charger, Robertson, please? And then a very normal thing happens. One wave says to his friend's wave, yo, is there any part of the world you didn't destroy? I'm so high up, I'm going to destroy it. And his friend's wave is like, yo, you think you're so strong, but look at the strength of Abishter. And it quotes a pasuk in Yirmiyahu that says, oh, you're not going to fear from Abishter, you're not going to tremble. Hashem Hashem made these little tiny things of sand be an atmosphere for the waves, for these powerful waves, and it's just the sand that stops it. Says the Gemara, says the Gra, what was the sand? The sand is like the Talmidei Chachamim, the Tzaddikim, who are compared to sand. And just like there's a lot of pieces of sand that stop the wave, so too the Talmidei Chachamim, their maisim, their mitzvahs are even more mitzvahs than there is sand, and that could definitely stop the arrogance and definitely stop the anger. So we did all that, right? And the Gra talked about Yetzer Hara. I checked this year yesterday. I just wanted to give a shtick chazah. And that's the story, by the way. That's the story. We're about to start the story. There was just 4 lines in the game that we're going to learn in 4 games. Says the Gra, V'seder also al seder psukim. So he says, these 2 stories that we've seen so far. The first story was that there was a it talks about the wave that's going to sink a ship. So you have like Satan or the Malach HaMaves or Malach HaMazik comes before it, and if you hit him with the stick that says like all these names of Hashem, yeah. Wait, what's the pasuk? I'll say the whole thing. Ya Adonai Tzvaos, Amen, Amen, Selah. And so the Gra explained each of those names of Hashem and how that name can stop the wave, stop the down. Is the angel of death. And so the reason that you have that story and then this story, according to the Pesukim, Asibur Rishon, the first story is on the pasuk, Vayomer v'yamod ruach sa'ah, shehu mishaber u'mitzaber l'sfina. this wild ruach that is coming maybe to sink the ship, like we learned in the last story, like the Gra says in his parish on Yonah, that Rabbi Harry brought up, which was great. Tushtel. But yes, our Onia, there was a boat, and there was a mishavet the hishaber, right? It was like starting to break in Yoda, the boat from the storm. The Sibur Hasheni al Bazuk Sha'acharav V'Teromim Galav. Okay, so the Gra says that these stories are actually according to Psukim, but he doesn't tell us where these Psukim are. V'Teromim Galav. Should I look it up real Q? V'Teromim Galav, or should someone in Shir want to volunteer? But I don't want to spell it for everything. I'll just quickly look it up while I'm double multitasking, right? I'm gonna look it up. Wait. I'm gonna look it up, right? Vatiromim Galav. And we'll see where these psukim are in the Gra. Oh, it's Tehillim Kuf Zayin Chav Hey. Okay, right. Vayamod Ruach Se'ara Vatiromim Galav. So the beginning of that pasuk was that the Vayomer, and he says, then there was a Ruach Se'ara, and the waves came up. So that's why the second thing is talking about these two waves who were talking about, like, talking to each other about destroying the flat earth. Okay, do I have a pencil? It seems that I am pencilless. It's all okay though. I just found some. Rebbe, do we have pencil? Okay. New Gemara. Who this? New Maisa. New aggadata. Who this? Gemara. Amarabba. And there's actually in the Kuti here, it says Rabba Varchana. So it says Rabbi Barchana, to me I saw, and randomly I was thinking so much. Randomly, I was just looking at this Gemara, trying to see if there was any Marshas, and I couldn't find the Marsha, which is very surprising. I did see a Ben Yehoyada, Maybe if we had an hour and a half here instead of 45 minutes, we do Gemara Rashbam, Tosfos, Gra, Ben Yehoyada, but I'll tell you what Ben Yehoyada says. One of the things he said was that every time it says L'didi Chazili, it's talking about a dream. Now, that's just the Ben Yehoyada. So, do we know if this Maisa Rabbah says, I saw, what did I see? I saw Horman Bar Lilis, Holy Cannoli. So there's how goes that unit when it says Horman. Horman, the son of Lilith. Now, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Yisrael Bindel. Now, Schliggs, I think, may be able to tell us who this Lilith character is.
She is the queen of the demons. I think she's like the
Wave
wife
of the Dead.
I heard she's like the wife of the Malach HaMavis. She's also comes to men when they have in their sleep. That's what she causes the nocturnal emission for men. And that's all I can say off the top of the dome over here.
Of the dome, no pun intended, because of the Rakia, Gavaldik. That's good. I also heard things like that. But Lamaisa, maybe I've seen Lilith like once or twice before in different Chazal, but we're coming to it. We don't know a thing. But what you said, I agree. But let's see what the Gemara says about it. And she had a son named Horman. So there's a long Hagos Vatzionim here, not long, but long before the Hagos Vatzionim, and he says like this: the Girza of the Aruch is Hormiz. So what's his name is Hormiz, and so the parish of Hormiz is a shade, is a demon. Okay, so Lilith, her son, is a demon. I don't know what it says about her, but B'chein Haya B'Girzas Rashi and Sanhedrin Lamides, he says it's Hormiz. And check out Tosfos over there, and Tosfos above on Daf Ches, and Tosfos in Gittin on Daf Yud Aleph, Horman, and the Rashbam, right? And check the Rashbam over here. All we're gonna do is check the Rashbam over here, but first we're in the Gemara, in the Rashbam, right now in the Gemara. Okay, so Horman, son of Lilith, Rabbi Bar Chana saw him in a dream. Ki karait akufia de shura de mechuza v'raiv parsa right parsa ki rachiv chiyusa mitatoi. Very hard Aramaic. I'll do my best, and then we'll see it with the Rashbam. This demon named Hormiz or Horman, he was running on a box of oxen. Obviously, that's not what it is. On the monkey on an ox, probably not what it is either. But I don't know what this kufi is. We'll see with Rashbam. In a place called Mechuza, and there was a guy riding a horse. There was a guy riding a horse, and he was running. He was running because Chiyusa, there was life under him. Chiyusa is Susia. Okay, so the horse. Oh, Chayusa, it just means like a chaya in Aramaic, like an animal. But the Tziyunim gives us different girsa. It says talking about a horse. Okay. The lo yachil le zimnachada, right? The lo yachil le, but he couldn't carry him. Maybe it was too heavy. Zimnachada, one time, Ava misargoin le targe kudenaisi. So one time he was misargoin. He was like kipas ruga, maybe he was knitting. Two kodenaisi. I don't know what kodenaisi is yet. He was knitting two things. Vikaimin ashrei gishri derognag vishoar mehailahai. Bliving hard, you guys. What is happening? Mihailahai was going from this place to another place, maybe. V'nokit trey mizge de chamra biyade. Oh, you guys. Chamra. Talking about wine. We're back in the Sechus Avodah Zarah.
Wow.
He had two maybe cups of diluted wine in his hands. V'morik mihailahai. And he was pouring from one of the bottles to the other bottle. Umihailahai, from the other one to the other one. Below nutva nitufa la'ara. Not one drop fell to the ground. Ve'ozo hayom, and that day, and then the Gemara quotes a pasuk. Yalu shamayim. The heavens will be elevated. Yardu tehomos. It will go down to the tehom, to the how is tehom? The depth, right? So they go up to Shemayim and go down to the tehom. And that's, by the way, that's a buzzing in Tehillim. In Kuf Zayin, the gain. Said the Gra in Fort Gain. And that little stickle of the Gra that we learned today. The Gra is telling us, by the way, you're about to go on to the next story. And you'll see why the next story is next, because we're talking about this buzzing in Tehillim. That Baruch Hashem, Yid had the foresight and the Siyat Dishmaya to say, I'm just got to look it up. I just need to know. And it comes out that it was very relevant, because right now they're quoting a buzzing in Tehillim, Kuf Zayin, Chavav, Yalu Shamayim, Yordu Tehomos, Navsham Birah, Tismogak. Their soul in bed will be melted. You go up, you go down, so melted. So this was Yudzayin Chavei, and so now we're going Yudzayin Chavav. The first two stories were Yudzayin Chavei. Now we're going Yudzayin Chavav. Givaldik Shalom Aleichem Zigid Yari Zalman. We're learning in Fort Gain. Learn the game. Okay. We're gonna have to leave, by the way, before Shir is over in 6 minutes. I gotta go. So, and then I'll show you. We'll see how beautiful and precise all of the angles and how unbelievable this building is built, and it's unbelievable. And then we're gonna see a building that was built next to it, and it's an absolute dump. It looks like someone just like pooped cement with like no way to make it even flat. And so it's very likely that whatever civilization built this unbelievable building, we're just shteigin in one of these buildings in the fort. It can't be that the same civilization that built this and built that. It's very unlikely. It doesn't make any sense. But okay. So this story, they go this until the house of the king heard and killed him. Very, very, very difficult story. But we got a huge clue from the Gra. We got to look into Tehillim Kuf Zayin. I'm going to send it to the yeshiva group after Shir Mirtz Hashem. And we got to take a look at that because these stories are based on the Pesukim in Tehillim Kuf Zayin, says the game. And here, but they didn't quote Tehillim Kuf Zayin at all in the last two stories. That's why the Gra told us. But here they're actually quoting Tehillim Kuf Zayin, Gevaldik. Now we're going to see it again with the Rashbam, and maybe we'll have to see it again with the Rashbam still in this in the game, in the 4 games. So Rabbi says, I saw in a dream, or I saw, and Ben Yoyada says maybe it was a dream, but we're not going. That's Ben Yoyada's shop. But the Gra says, the Rabbi says, I saw Horman. Who's his Horman Yid? So the Rashbam says it's with a nun. We read it. Kach shamati mi Abba Mari. Wow. No, wait. Kach shamati. That's what I heard from my father, who was Rashi's son-in-law. The Anizamati, but I heard Hormuz Bizayin. I heard that it was Hormiz with the Zayin. Bishedu, and he's a demon. The sugya of demons. Sugya, a beloved sugya of Yeshiva's Gua show. We've talked about it a lot. We're trying to figure out what exactly is a demon. What's the difference between a demon and a devil and Satan? Maybe the demon is like the shluchim of the Satan, just like the wave, right? What tests? But we don't know. When it talks about demons, the Gemara, it talks about demons, and Rashi is like, we don't know what it is. And the Gemara says we don't know what it is. We don't know what, we have no idea what this thing is. So we'll see what we can do. But anyways, it says mi balga to asi hormas. That's just an edge from the thing that the tata the hormas, like from the lower side of hormas. So really, I would love to see that Gemara in Sanhedrin Lamed Tes. I don't have my shas on me right now. It's in the car. We are traveling with it. Maybe I'll check it out tonight and come back with you guys tomorrow, and we'll see this Hormuz sugya. You know, we're a new story, Rabbi Barchana, and it's talking about Hormuz. So maybe I will see that Gemara on Lamed Tes. Anyways, so what does he see this guy do? Son of Lilith. He karayit akopia deshura. He was running al shine hachoma. Wow. So this is the mechuzah. He was running on the top of the wall, just like we were doing at the beginning of Shir today, on the top of the wall. So this demon was running at the top of the wall in mechuzah. The high of the lehodia. And so this story, says the Rashbam, is to tell us that Tzidkaso, that Tzaddik, how big of a Tzaddik Kadosh Baruch Hu is, Shemerachim al briosav, that he has mercy on his brios. Ve'eno nosim rishus le'elu lehazikan, and he doesn't give the mazikin permission to damage them. V'gam shalola tzeis b'derech yachid. He's like, still, a person shouldn't go on a path by himself. Or maybe he doesn't give rishus to the demon to go on a path by himself. Right? And so he's on this path, he's on the top of this wall in Mechuzah. The right parsa, he rachiv chiyusa. It seems like there was a horse rider who was riding a horse. Was the Rashbam say right parsa? Lefi tomo, he was just going normally, right? He's just going. Misiach lefi tumo, Misiach lefi yuzmo, tzarich acharif lamo, nafshirak lefi umo. I mentioned that word in one of my Hebrew raps, lefi tumo. It means he's saying it, but he's just talking normally. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. We gotta start making eggs. But the lo yachilei shaya shade rach v'yoser. So what does that mean? He was riding the thing mitatai. The horse was running. The lo yachilei, right? He couldn't do it. What does that mean? The shade, the demon, was very, very soft. Umiyu aperes loya mischaven lekach. The horse rider didn't intend for this to happen. Okay, we got to evacuate the premises. So I apologize for but also it's a big mitzvah to understand to understand like the Sheba and understand what's going on. And I think that this is very important. Represent, can you get that stuff? We gotta make moves. I'm gonna show the Eden just how beautiful and immaculate and brilliant and out of control. Oh, there's a museum there. I guess I'll see you next time. I'm in Alabama's. You know, but look at this. Look at these buildings. Look at the how precise. And if you look at a picture, from above, you can see that in a perfect star shape. It's unbelievable. This fort. It was built with such precision, and they want us to think that this was built by the same people who built what I'm about to show you. You guys might throw up. It's such an ugly, disgusting structure. What we're about to see, and it's built right next to this, and so it's very, very, very unlikely that the same civilization built these things. This was inherited. This was here when the Shibud Malchis came in with Columbus and with America. Yo, have a day for what is it? What again? For gain. Oh wow, books. Okay, we looking at books right now in the middle of a book I want to look at right now, and it's the Gemara. Okay. Quick 26, always a good sign. 26. Okay, so we're leaving the fort. Look how remember how beautiful it is. We're about to walk to an absolute garbage fire of the building. Okay. So the Gemara says like this. So the demon was very soft, right? That's what it's saying. Very soft demon. Look, see how spectacular the angles are in this? Unbelievable, right? Okay, so what happened? The one day, so first of all, what he saw, we don't know what that means. He couldn't do it. The demon couldn't do it, and the rider didn't know what the rider trampled the demon or something. And he didn't do it on purpose, says the Rashbam. Okay, we're going to see the gain. He's going to explain to us the gain and 4 gains. One time, Hava Misargin lay Tardikudenaisa. So one time we said Misargin lay maybe is like knitted or something. He says like this, Sarigan. He says Misargan lay. The Rashbam gives us a different gear. He says Sarigan. Shaya Okev. Visarga Nosnin ala Paragais. One time, an okev is like a saddle, right? So you have the saddle and on a what's a pered? It's a mule. So one time he was riding on a mule. Rabbi said, we're going to the dumpster fire of a disgusting 19th century building that actually tells us when it was built. Here, they never told us when it was built. Look at this. Look at this magnificent structure. They don't say when it's built. They say when you come in, it was established sometime in the 1800s. But they 1821 or whatever. Established, but they don't tell us when it's built. But at this disgusting, not with bricks, built with like cement, just poured out, not flat, not level, not beautiful. Look how disgusting this building is. There are some bricks, though. I gotta say, there are some bricks. So we are blinding, but we gotta be on top of the wall when we're learning about the top of the wall. Gewaldic. Okay. Okay. So they were on some sort of, they were on mules. He was riding on a saddle and a mule, and he had 2 Kodenaisi. We don't know what Kodenaisi is, right?
10-min warning.
Mr. Gayin says, Shmosh now stay uchavim, I'll stay prados. So he put two saddles on 2 different mules. The Kayamin Azre Gishre, the Rognag, not Rognag. Zagt, the El Garajbam. shall also nar v'hayu rechokim zeh mizeh v'haya midaleg mibar zol lepar zo. He was riding two mules at once, and he was jumping from one mule to the other mule, back and forth, like Jack Kevorkian's rear end to court. And so he was on this nahar, on this river, maybe like on the river bank, maybe. By the way, very interesting for the sugya of, oh, my dad's not here, but very interesting for the sugya of the Federal Reserve that we call the river bank, you know? Maritime law in Sham, Basra. So he says like this, it was on this river bank, maybe, Vishoar mehai lahai, umehai lahai. It wasn't that he was jumping from one to the other. It wasn't that he was shoar, I guess jump. He was jumping from this mule to the other mule. And he had 2 cups of wine. 2 cups of wine. Bach. The Heilige Bach says that it was cups. This is how we were translating it. The Gemara says something a little weird. Rivka, do you hear that? And sorry, guys, I lost the pen again. Oh, found it. I know it's in 10 minutes. No one wants to see me struggle to find the pen for 10 seconds, but you may do. We got to underline that Bach. Okay. So he had Hardik Kazi the Chamra, says the Bach, in his hand. He had 2 cups of, the Rashbam himself has that gears of the Bach, that is cups of wine. He says, Shnei Malayim, they are both full of wine. Malayin Yayin. It was mixed them, and they were both full. While he was riding, the Eino Nishbach, and it wasn't spilling. Afilu tiba achas, not even one drip. The Abba beach also yom ruach sarah, and even though in that day there was a ruach sarah, right? By the way, ruach sarah we saw in the pasuk before they were about to quote Kuf Zayin Chavav in Tehillim. It said something about ruach sarah. That was the pasuk that the Grut told us about, right? So that day it was absolutely crazy wind. Olin your day aim. So they were picking the people that were the seafarers in boats, put them all the way up to heaven. The wind was bringing them up to the heavens, up to the Rakia, and down to the Tehom. And still, the Aval Bikin, even though he didn't drop one tipa to the Aretz. Shalom Aleichem Yosh. So we didn't drop. So we're talking about this demon riding.
Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem to you as well. We're talking about a demon who was riding 2 mules at once, and he had 2 cups of wine. And he was putting back and forth, and it was super windy. And the ships were going all the way, right? Ships, by the way, try to be by the water for every shear by of Rabbi Barchana. So far, we've done a few by the water, as many as we can. As many shirim as we can by the water. It should be sorry to understand Rabbi Barchana. We saw a nice anchor earlier in shir today, in the middle of this starboard. Okay. And the starboard was 4 games. Okay. It didn't make anything. And anyways, during that day, there was such a wind. The crazy wind, and it took boats up to the heaven, bring them down to the depths. And still, he didn't spill a drip. Yalu Shamayim, Zok the Rashbam. Pasuk who gabe your dayam b'sefer Tehillim. That's the pasuk of Sefer Tehillim. Okay. Ad shamu be'malchusa b'katlu. So the kings, the Malchus, they heard about this and they killed him. So who did they kill? They killed the demon. That doesn't make any sense. Did they kill the shipwreck that he was riding? And then one day he was jumping from parrot to parrot, from mule to mule, and not spilling wine? What is this story? And just like all of these stories, even with the Rashbam, it's almost unexplainable, ununderstandable. It's like, what in the world are they trying to tell us? And that's why we are giving Hodah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we have the gain at Fort Gain. All right. Now we're going to come and see the Gra. How much time do we have left, ladies and gentlemen?
4 men.
So we can start the Gra with a little bit of music. The Fort Gain, Shteigin the Gain. Amar Razal, Medrash, Bishmos Rabba. No, that's not the right one. Amar Rabba Barchan Alidi Chazuli. Amar Rabba Barchan Alidi Chazuli Horman. So the Gra also goes with this Horman, right? So the Gra says it's Hormiz Bar Lilta. So the Gra also has Hormiz with the Zion. What's the difference between Zion and Nun Sofi? I'm going to do some research on that tonight. I want to see that Gemara in Sanhedrin that was quoted. And we'll see a little bit more about this guy, about this Horman guy, son of a queen demon, perhaps, son of Lilith, making guys split while they're sleeping over here. Maybe the wife of Satan, whatever in the world that means. I saw that in Christian context, by the way. I never saw that in Torah. That Lilith is the wife of Satan, but so
The wife of the
Samach
Samach Mem.
maybe about Lilith, but this is not a story about Lilith. This is a story about her Lilith's son Hormuz. Okay, so here's the Gra. Gra's gonna finally tell us about Hormuz. You guys see me? I don't have the base measures anymore, but that we had in the Star Fort. But in Yano Shenemar Vivdila Habarochas Lachem Ben HaKodesh Uben Kodesh Kedashim. So the Indian of this story that we just learned is the Parochas, because the Parochas split between Kodesh and Kodesh Kedashim. What is that talking about? Is that spilling the wine from one thing to the other and not missing the difference between Kodesh Kedoshim? Is that anything? I don't know. The Omer B'Zohar, and it says in Zayar, Shehu Chatzer HaKavod, Shehu Mavdil Bein Klei HaKol, Shehu Kodesh HaKedoshim HaMiyuchal D'Daira U'Tefila, U'Bein Kli HaMeichel, like, Shehema Gamkin Kodesh, they're also Kodesh, the food, the things that you use for food, the forks, I guess. Kemamar Hillel, like Hillel says, Bo v'nigmo chesed lahada alufta. Let's give some chesed to this guy who is like really like pathetic. Aluf, this guy who's right. Lahada alufta lekol echad is scoring Sanhedrin. Davlamides. Let's go. That's what I said I wanted to see, right? The Gra's also quoting this part. Davlamides. Now we have to see it. Hahumina hapal mipalga v'ledata de ahormiz. So this Abigores is from the bottom half of this demon named Ahormiz. Nira Sharatzul Mertiza wants to say mipalga v'le'ela from the top half. Moda shehu miyuchad HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I agree. Oh, so the Min says like, oh, this is mamish Satanism. The Min says, listen, the bottom half of the world, it belongs to the demons. He agrees. Okay, fine. So the top of the heavens and the top half of the world is for Abishter. He's masking to that. But he says, yeah, that's what the Shibud says. They say there's God and there's equal Satan. That's called binitarianism. Kamosha Gasa Bizachaya, like it says in Zachaya, Vikit Tochlu, Vikit this to what you're going to eat and drink, Vichule, it doesn't even say the end of the pasuk. We're going to start this game tomorrow. We're not going to be in Fort Gain anymore. But it was trivia, a Mormon running on a wall, and look where we're standing. After it all, we're on a wall, and it's pretty gross and not at all beautiful, like the